That's Kasim with MMG. I'm with DJ Shuttle, Direct Deposit Show.
Yes, sir. We back live. Episode 7, Season 1, Direct Deposit. Your host, DJ Shuttle. Executive produced by my guy, DC3 Central Station. And filmed, edited by the one and only one. Interlude Films. Inspiration, my brother, Craig Herod, Nightwolf. Rest in peace, my guy. Today, another special guest, Kasim, is in the building. Yo, glad to have you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Alright, and if you can't see it, he got that exclusive MMG tag. If you missing it right there, we got Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2.
Definitely exposed everywhere. #1 right now.
#1 right now in these streets. Now, so your role with MMG, for the people that don't know, let them know what do you do for the label.
Oh man, I'm actually the marketing director. What that entails, basically, I'm basically the liaison between us and every brand that he touches or even owns. I take care of the strategy between all the different brands. Anything you can think of as far as like the visual content, I'm pretty much a part of that as well. It's so vast, but that's just a cool little synopsis.
Yeah, because I would imagine like that keeps you up and working 24 hours a day. Because Ross is touching a lot of brands.
Always.
And for quite some time. So how long you been in this role with the label?
I've been with MMG since 2016.
2016 in this role?
Nah, actually this role since 2017.
Okay, and where'd you start with MMG?
I started as a graphic designer.
Graphic designer,
Yeah.
okay. See, that's important. Like I always tell people, it's not like where you at today is not going to be where you necessarily end up.
Indeed.
So you know you got to be prepared to take step 1 to get you to step 2
Right.
and 3 and so on. So was it ultimately like your goal to be in this role, or you thought I'm a graphic designer, that's kind of what I do?
Nah, the cool thing about Ross is that he has a way of seeing things in you before you even see it for yourself.
True leadership right there.
True indeed. Because when I was just a graphic designer, I was doing artwork for different covers, for the singles, other marketing assets that we had going on at the time. Just the whole story behind that was like mad wild anyway. Because I was actually doing graphic design for his producer being there.
Okay.
And we had a cool connection that we developed. And then I went down to London to work with him. And then one day in particular, I was supposed to get back to the bus station and go back home. He was like, "Nah, I felt like drive you back to the station. Come with me somewhere." I was like, "Cool." So we driving, it's mad long. I'm like, "Oh, this you could take to the station." He was like, "Nah, it's like we almost there." I'm like, "All right, cool." And so we get to this neighborhood, go to the little gates, and everything. And then I see these gates on this one house had 2 double R's on it.
Whoa.
And so I'm like, oh, I think I know where we at.
We at the mansion.
Yeah,
we at the mansion, for real.
So we get there, we get inside, introduced to the team that's down there. One guy in particular, which is Tomcat, that's Ross engineer. Right. We talking about graphic design, things like that. He was like, "Yo, your work is fire." He's about, "I bet you something. Like, if you sit down that chair right there, when Ross comes downstairs, he's going to see your work and want to fuck with you." I was like, I ain't believe, because everybody always chatting.
Right.
But I was like, well, all right, cool. I sat in that chair anyway. So I was already working on different little projects at the time too. And like 15 minutes later, Ross walks downstairs. And then, he see the work and we say, "Ah, what's up?" He was like, you doing this? I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "I got something for you."
Just like that?
Just like that. So he said, "I want you to go in the studio over there and let them play this record for you, see what you can come up with." So they played me one record and I listened to it, and I was like, "All right, cool, I got it."
Now, I'll put you on the spot. What record was it?
Idols Become Rivals. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So mean record. I can't say I necessarily remember the artwork, but I'm gonna have to go back now and look at the artwork. We got to do homework on that.
I'm gonna get to that too. So so I did that one, and I did a few other records. I knocked out maybe 4 or 5 records. Artwork for the records 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that same night.
Yo, see that right there is what keeps you working.
Of course.
Turnover time.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of guys, in the film work,
Right.
artwork, graphic work, websites, should be taking forever. You know what I mean? I'm on the phone like, "Yo, dude, what we doing?"
Yeah.
But you saw the opportunity, you ain't play no games. You got right to it.
I ain't play no games with
Phone was off, like I'm working.
So one thing about Ross too that a lot of people don't know is that he's a man of options. So it's like he likes to have a lot of options, and everything has to be at 100%. So no telling which one he chooses, they got to be ready to go.
So you come with a couple of concepts.
Yeah.
Nah, that's official. So he's like, each one is just an original. We could go this style, this method, so forth and so on. So that's good. So when you're doing your work, I know a lot of creative people, like, you know, they like to smoke something or things like that. Like what kind of gets you in your zone, in your mode when you get in like creative zone?
Nah, I actually listen to music.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I have a whole playlist
right,
just for when I'm working.
Or like in the case of Idols Become Rivals, you kind of vibe into the song and using that as the inspiration for.
Yeah, like even with that, even just by us having a conversation, I can start to see the picture in my head.
Right.
Cause like I don't know, that's how I work.
Expressing what the song is and what the vibe is, and then you get into that spot mentally.
True indeed.
Dope.
That's what it is for me, and then like you know, next after that, just execution.
Now, as a DJ, right? Like I can't draw for nothing. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. You feel me? So
yeah.
I admire graphic designers, artists like tremendously. I think that's like, I don't care what I do. Like to me, art is. I look at art as like you can draw. Like you're a super amazing talent. How did you get into like being an artist in the first place?
It's crazy you say that about DJing. I used to DJ as well. I was a mixtape DJ.
Nice.
And
we're gonna get back to that.
We'll get to that, yeah. And so just doing my research on the whole mixtape game.
Right.
I remember I had a conversation with DJ Enough.
Okay.
Early, and he was like, "Yo, just make sure that your presentation is on point. Like the artwork is key." And at the time, I never even heard of a graphic designer. So I'm doing my research on it, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, all right, I see this. And then upon my research, I'm seeing the different pricing they talking about. And I was like, yo, I could probably do this shit myself.
Right.
So I went to Best Buy, bought like the bullshit version of Photoshop. It was like Photoshop Elements for like $60. And I took it back home, played with it for like a week, figured it out, and started doing my own covers.
Nice.
And I was doing probably these projects like every week. So every week I had some questions for me.
Okay, so back to the DJ thing. What was the DJ name?
DJ Speak Easy.
Speak Easy.
Yeah.
Nice. So your mixtapes were consisted of what music?
I'm big at networking. So I got relationships with like so many different artists, producers, engineers, managers, A&Rs, and they was always sending me records, whether it's from like independent artists or the majors. So yeah, my mixtapes always consist of like what was hot at the time.
Right.
Sometimes it was something that's too hot because it wasn't even out yet.
Right.
You know, at that point in the game, you know, everybody trying to get those exclusives.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
I was caught up in that way with just having one of the hottest records.
Competing with Clue and them guys was hard back
Drama,
then.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Big Mike.
Yeah, definitely Big Mike, yeah.
Nah, he had them exclusives back then.
Nah, he had all of them.
yeah, they caught up with him. That was wild.
Yeah, it was super wild. No, it's crazy because I slightly got caught a little bit.
Okay.
Because that Piff had sent me cease and
desist. That's that letter you don't want. That's that letter you don't want.
Nah, it's crazy because like we was killing so crazy with the mixtapes. The RIA signed me, fined me like 10K for one joint. And the other one they just took down. Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk about that. Game done changed though.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, now, you know, like that Peterson, SoundCloud, they all working with the labels now.
True.
So, you know, you ain't gonna really too easily be able to get too many exclusives.
Nah, not that much.
Nah, the game done changed. Spotify.
Yeah, that shut it down fast.
It's a whole new world. So, but before working with Ross, were you at any other labels or what'd you do prior to that?
Yeah, before the whole Ross thing, I was actually working with Dipset for like 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, up until they broke up the second time. I was working directly under Hell Rep.
Okay.
And shout out to my guy G5, he's the one that brought me into the mix of that. And I was pretty much doing the same thing, artwork. I was pretty much learning on the fly.
Right.
And you know, just handle the marketing for him, the social media marketing, because this was like Instagram first popping off. You know, Twitter was the wave, but Instagram was just coming off. So I pretty much had to learn that on the go. And I got pretty good at it for real. And it kept me on. And yeah, when they broke up the second time, it was like, it's a wrap.
That's it.
Yeah, so I had to figure it out.
There's no more work. No more work.
So, you know, of course, I went back home to Virginia. Had me a couple gigs. One in particular was T-Mobile. Shout out to T-Mobile too, man.
You did some graphic work for them?
Hell no. I was customer service.
Give money.
Nah, but it's crazy. I did some, but that's how I learned about, you know, proprietary property.
Right.
Yeah, anything I designed for them, they was strictly theirs.
Right.
So I, you know, didn't do too much about that. It was all to the good. But they taught me a lot as far as like dealing with consumers and dealing with dealing with marketing on a whole different scale of things. And that was a great experience. And then I was like, yo, I don't even belong here.
Right.
So one day I just quit. Like, I'm out. I'm not gonna see y'all tomorrow. My manager was like, nah, you'll be here. I was like, nah, I'm out for real. Like,
I'm
I'm
out.
gonna be here.
I'm out.
I gave them like 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying?
They got their time.
Yeah, they definitely got their time. And I just sat there and I was like, nah, this ain't for me. I only be here answering phones, you know what I mean? But, so I got out of there. And I started my own graphic design company.
Nice. So you have designers working under you, or
just me.
One-man team?
One-man team, yeah.
Nice. You gotta build that team out. But,
of course. I mean, I got the team now. Yeah,
I got the team now. Okay.
Time,
yeah. You can't do everything. Even Dr. Dre got producers.
Nah, trust, I know. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, we can't do it all. So you from VA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what part of Virginia?
Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story, right? So I'm in college, Hampton University.
Okay.
Right? So, we call ourselves, trying to get out and go somewhere. The popping parties in Richmond. But it was really popping in Richmond.
I already know.
So if y'all don't know, be careful when you go to Richmond. You feel me?
I don't do Richmond like that. Richmond nice.
Listen.
Now. Richmond cool now. Then.
Oh, y'all got gentrified Richmond now?
Slightly.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
like the gentrified Brooklyn? Is gentrified
not
Richmond?
to that extent.
Not to that degree, right?
Yeah.
All I know is I was like, yo, we gotta get back down to Hampton. We gotta get out of here. It's wild right now. It was like some dirty South Cowboy shit going on down there.
Yeah, true.
And we talking about the 90s. So
the 90s, nah, trust, I know.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout to Richmond though.
Shout to Richmond.
Now I had a good time minus the shots.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm dancing easy when I come through the city.
Right.
So what's the scene like in Richmond though right now?
The scene now is like real artsy, real business. A lot of the fortune companies making their home in Richmond now. Richmond is definitely one of the top cities that has with the schools for health and law.
Right.
Shout out to University of Richmond School. I attended for a slight second.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best schools in the nation right now for business and law as well. So there's a lot going on that degree.
I'm in tune with an artist from Richmond. I'm gonna give him some shine right now.
Of course.
All Hell Tooch.
All Hell Tooch?
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were gonna say Nicholas F.
Nicholas what?
F.
I heard of him too. Fire. All Hell Tooch fire. So shout out to the artists in Richmond. Doing they Thug Dizzle and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You do any work with any artists in the city at all, like on the graphic tip?
I haven't in like years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, well, if y'all doing the right thing, we're going to get the contact info at the end.
Of course.
And, if they want to hit the website, follow, whatever it might be. Also, in the DMV, a guy I've been working with has a company called Route Runners.
Antoine, right?
And,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you've connected with him or you know him?
I know him.
You know him,
yeah. I've seen him moving around. He had the artist, Chris Scholar.
Absolutely.
That was my guy. He used to come to my studio
Chris
that we had in the city as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, New York, DMV,
we
keep trying to keep the connect going. You know what I'm saying? Going to school in the South, I realized, being at HBCU, the networking is truly important.
Of course.
To, just to elevate your game and whatever it is that you're doing. So,
right.
But 2019, it's all about that Port of Miami too.
Of course, Port of Miami too. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of talk on the street. Is it Port of Miami or is it TM 104? That's the talk of the street. That's the talk of the street. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I kind of got him right here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I fuck with Ross. I fuck with Jeezy. I think both albums is fire. But Ross to me is like probably like top 5 most consistent rappers ever. So like when I hear this project in his heat, like I'm not surprised. Like let's not act like Ross don't do this, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So so this is your work, I'm imagining.
No, not my work.
That's not your work.
The homie I-95.
I-95.
Yeah, he did a great job with that.
Power, y'all see
He
it?
did a fire job with the whole the art direction for this project.
Port of Miami too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the zoom on that, my man, in the loop. Make sure we get it right. If you're an artist, if you're any type of business that's out there and need graphic work, because we're not just dealing with rappers, we're dealing with any type of brands, right?
Yeah, of course.
How can they reach you? What's the best way to contact you? Where can they see samples of your work? All that kind of stuff.
See, samples of work is on IG at @thecrown CRWN_.
I'm actually give it to them one more time. I want to make sure they got it.
That's at @thecrown THECRWN_. That's see samples of work. But we're about to revamp that whole thing. I have the company Crown Creative Agency. Shout out to my entire team. If you want to get direct in touch with me, do business on that type of level, holler at my brother, Influent Nolan. That's at Influent NOLAN. He'll definitely get you in the right direction. As far as the website concerned, you can check us out at IndieImpact.com. We can have that conversation about that too. We're doing more than artwork.
That was my next segue. So now, like, being around a boss like Ross has got to put you in a different kind of mind frame.
Sure indeed.
To expand the brand, right? So what else do you have going on?
So I'm gonna give just the backstory on this and tell you about the brand. Okay. So late 2017, I'm doing speaking engagements around Atlanta at different studios. Okay. And one night in particular, I decided just to walk around the campus of Georgia Tech just to get a feel. I'm big on networking, like I said earlier. So just to get a feel for different artists and entrepreneurs in the area, just to check the scene out really. And upon having several different conversations with everybody, one thing I found that everyone had in common was that everyone pretty much knew the basis to whatever their niche was. But I also found out that they all didn't know how to fully put that package together and present it. Okay. So I went back to the crib, Ross had a conversation about it, and he was like, yo, like, you will be the perfect one to do this. Like, you should teach this. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like, you can really do this. And I was like, all right, let me think this through, because everything has to be done the right way. And I thought about it, called my brother up, and I said, I want to find a way where I can have a great conversation with everybody and make a great impact on all these independent creatives. And as we kept talking, having a conversation, independent impact kept coming up, and it was like, oh, Indie Impact. That's how the name came from. Yeah. And so the initial concept was just to be me traveling to different studios across the country, just teaching everybody marketing and branding. That was the initial vision, but that vision grew so fast and expanded so fast. Actually, within like the first, we're not even a year old yet, but it grew like crazy within the first month. Then it became a situation where it was the first event that we had was myself, Antonio Reed, son, shout out to him, DJ Nikki Knight, she's one of the hottest female DJs in Atlanta, and we just had a panel. So basically, we're just having a real intimate conversation to address every concern that you have as a creative to take to that next level, regardless of what your niche is. Nice. Yeah. So what cities have you been hitting so far? We've been in New York twice. We've done Atlanta. We just did Miami. We did Charlotte, Carolina. We have Atlanta coming up again. We have LA coming up. That's pretty much to close out the year. We're gonna probably stop in Richmond, Virginia, because I haven't done one there yet. And for the hometown, of course. And then next year we touch international. Nice. Yeah. So we already got Toronto on the board. We already have Paris on the board. We already have the UK on the board. Well, definitely look forward to coming back to New York. Yeah. And Direct Deposit, be happy to support it and be part of it in any type of way that we can, with our network of creators that work with us. Yeah, so definitely make it work. We've got to be a part of that. So anything else on tap that we should know about? I just started my own label. Nice. Yeah, that just happened. Appreciate that. That just happened a few weeks ago. Okay. And it was pretty much by accident. Nah, it's a plan you didn't know about. Yeah, you knew about it. Yeah, true. Yeah, that was a crazy situation too. I was sitting there at Audiomat, and talking with the people that had the marketing over there, and his boss, COO of the company. And we just having a cool conversation about marketing, about the industry as a whole. And he stops me. His name Jason. He stops me. He says, "Let me ask you something. You have all these resources. You have all these connections." And you know a lot of people, and not just anybody, all the right people. Right. Why don't you have your own artists that you're pushing? Why don't you have your own label yet? And I was like, dang, because I never thought that far ahead with it. And I was like, I gotta think that through. Like, let me make it make sense to me. Because like, it sounds like a good idea, but it gotta make sense. I see a lot of aspiring artists
even labels, you know, that like they might have good music.
Yeah.
They might even generally like have like a decent work ethic.
True.
But marketing is like I'll see these people put out projects
Mm-hmm.
and they don't spend anything to market and promote the brand, unless other than free sources like free Instagram and free Facebook.
Right.
They do second-rate artwork. Don't do things like graphic design and things like that. You know, to a level where it's impactful.
Right.
You know, EPKs are like people are dismissing it, thinking they can just live off Instagram stories. So, you know, when I hear a marketing guru getting into a label situation, I'm very inspired by that because I feel like the music is kind of like the easy part now because there's a lot of people making pretty good music.
Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me, like, as you sat and you thought about it, that did you consider, like, I guess what I'm just sharing with you, like, oh, wow, I do a lot of marketing, that could
I can touch on
be
that.
a differentiator.
Yeah, I can touch on that. The reason why artists struggle with that part is because they have a hard time understanding the difference between marketing and promotion because they're not one and the same.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think so, but they're not one and the same.
Marketing department, promotion department.
Exactly.
It's two different groups.
Right. So the way I like to explain to everybody so that way it's real simple and it's impactful is that promotion is for right now and marketing is how will I remember you tomorrow.
Promotion is for right now.
Yeah.
Marketing is how I'll remember you tomorrow. Short, concise, and that's a jewel. I hope y'all taking heed to that.
Yeah, so
Indie Impact, that's where y'all get that.
yeah, you'll get that from any impact. So yeah, I did take it into consideration, but then it was like, all right, cool, let me make it make sense. So I started, making different phone calls, different executives I know, other friends in the industry I have as well, and they was all telling me the same thing. You should really do this. Like, you can do it. Like, you've seen the work you do. You've seen the results you produce. Like, you can do this. So all right, cool. Now this happened on Tuesday. We had the conference. I came back on Tuesday. Wednesday I went back. Thursday it made clearer sense, and I was like, all right, yeah, this is definitely the move. I was on the press run with the artist, or actually on the press run with an engineer from DC, HB engineer. He's also an artist as well. And then we were supposed to have went to Title. Nas was up there at the time. Anytime anybody's high profile in there, they shut the whole thing down.
Of course.
And he was like, no, you got to wait a minute on that. There's no telling how long it's going to be, so we just got to hold tight. And we continue on our run, but time is running. I need to make sure we get this done. And I was like, you know what, let me see who I can call to get them in. I've done a lot of business with Equity Distribution, that's Rock Nation Distribution Company. And I was like, I'm going to give him a call, the president, Christian, a call, and see what we can make shake. So I called him. I said, hey, I have this artist I believe would be a great fit with what you guys have at Equity. He says, now mind you, me and Christian, we've never met in person. We've always done business over the phone, via text, or via email, so we never met in person. And we having this conversation, he was like, well, we normally don't have artists up here that we haven't signed yet, but I do want to meet you. And I was like, oh, all right. I'll be here in like 5 minutes.
There we go.
So I tell the artist, like, look, meet me here at this address, the office, and we'll
see how it goes.
So I get over there before they get there. So me and Christian go to his office. We having a great conversation about marketing, like I always do, the game itself. He starts telling me more about the direction Equity is going in, which is phenomenal thing they're doing over there right now.
It's looking great.
It's phenomenal. And then he says to me, like, yo, tell me more about what you got going on. So I tell him about the whole Crime Creative Agency. We talk about Indie Impact. And I know that he knows the people of our Audio Mac. So I tell him about the conversation we had about the label. He says to me, to be honest with you, you should really do it. Like, I really feel like this is a great move for you. And on top of that, I support you on this. Like, we'll support you. We'll give you a label situation right now. And I was like, for real? Like, yeah, we'll do it right now. I was like, damn.
So the ink is dry.
Yeah, I just signed a contract too. So.
That's why I like it. That's why I like to hear. See, with all your work up to that point is what really got the deal done.
True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Being on time, being responsible, delivering the work,
right,
answering the calls,
right.
And so it's like, all right, well, we already got a good relationship rapport. I know what you do. You're working with Ross. You got a lot of other great shit popping. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna really happen? This is pretty much, you know, like a no-lose type of situation.
Yeah, true indeed.
So that's great. So tell me, you know, I read a little bit about equity, but if you can just share with, you know, kind of like the framework of what equity is built and how that is differentiated with Rock Nation, you know, and how they play a part.
Yeah, a lot of people they want to put them two together.
Right, but it's really two separate things.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of what I saw, but I wanted to make sure we clarify. So the people,
the people need to know that they're two separate companies in the same roof, under the same roof, but two separate companies. Imagine, not to no disrespect anybody, but imagine like a TuneCore but turned up to the max.
Right.
That's equity distribution. Everything you can think of, they handle and they distribute to pretty much anybody you can think of, including the good folks at Audio Mac. A lot of distribution companies don't do that.
Right.
And the cool thing about it is that you also have the full support of the Rock Nation team at your disposal as well. So if I not taking care of your marketing, things like that, they'll help out on that level once you get to a certain point within the equity brand.
When I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is good because it's like, without put any disrespect on anybody's name involved, it's kind of like Rock Nation is like the Yankees, like the #1 team in the major leagues, and this is kind of like a minor league team, so to speak. But if you excel here, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. So it's not like, I don't want to call it minor league like it's not a major opportunity.
Well, I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I see it as a major situation for you or any artist that is affiliated there.
It's like equivalent to being in the NBA. You have the people that's in the regular league and they got the
G League.
Yeah,
but you get popped in the G League, you
on the team.
You on the team.
And you still an NBA player regardless of what it is. So.
But you still playing. You got the same opportunity that everybody else got.
Exactly.
And what I also like that you shared is that like with equity, it appears in what you said that they're gonna do is that you get the major work, but then some of the grassroots stuff that a major label might not do, they're gonna be focusing on some of the more grassroots level, like you said, like the Audio Max and things like that. That will make sure like you still build your following from the ground up.
From the ground up, exactly. That's what's
the way you need to. The way you need to.
Yeah, and they touch everything. I have a few artists that I got signed to situations to them as well. Like one in particular, Z Wayne from DC. He's performing at the Made in America pre-show.
Nice.
So like, we working over there.
So your artist again that's on your label?
Not yet. He's be soon.
Oh, okay. Well, so you got your situation.
So
you got your situation. Now it's like we got to get that together.
Yeah, but my thing about it is that because my company is so young, I don't want to tie anybody down.
Right.
So it just makes sense to just go ahead and jump into management with everybody I do business with.
I got you.
So we can definitely prepare them to the level that they need to be at, and then cool, we still have that relationship, we still take care of them, and then if they decide to be fully with us, cool, so be it. If not, cool, we'll still take you where you need to go.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense to be greedy on that level. I've seen too many companies have that same approach and they fail.
Right.
And then you got these angry artists out here talking crazy about the industry. You know, you hear these stories, oh, these companies bad, this company's bad, yada, yada, yada. I don't want my name attached to that.
Exactly.
So we just go ahead and do it the right way.
Nah, well, yo, the level up is amazing. You know what I'm saying? From graphic designer to label boss. You know what I'm saying? You ever sit back, look in the mirror and be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This is a crazy journey?
Yeah, I just had that moment like a week ago.
Yeah.
Because I spent too much time just working. I never have time to really reflect.
Smell the roses, right?
Yeah, so then I had that moment. Actually, it was two moments. There's one moment that happened, I think like 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And the videographer sent me a video of the guy from Hot New Hip Hop talking about me.
Nice.
And was saying how like, yo, there's not too many people that we deal with. And Kasim is one of them that we know that when he reach out to us, he gets it done. He delivers every single time.
For sure.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
To hear somebody speak like that. And every time I talk to somebody, I always tell them, oh, I heard this about you, I heard this about you. It's always a great thing. I'm like, damn, like, how do you hear that? Like, what does that come from?
When you do good work, sometimes it travels a little slower than when you do bad work, but the word does travel amongst the right people.
Amongst the right, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
As long as it's in the right rooms, I'm cool with that. And it's always in the correct rooms.
Yo, so, you know, on a lighter note, there's a lot of top lists going around.
Yeah.
Top graphic designers of all time.
There's only one, and she's from here.
Who's that?
Paula Shear.
Paula Shear.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Paula Shea. Yeah, I followed her career since I've known about the whole graphic design thing. I can honestly say this might be a slight exaggeration. I think she did like at least 98% of what you see in New York City. Like she had her hands in that.
Wow.
She is that phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
I mean, there's other ones that like they do great work.
Right.
But like
She's the one.
overall, like
She's the one.
She's world renowned, so she's definitely the one.
Paula Shea, you heard it. You heard it right
Paula
here
Shea, yeah.
from Kasim. So, I mean, graphics, websites, MMG, marketing lead, now label boss, and the label name?
Crown Music.
Crown Music. You heard it here.
Yeah,
The ink is dry.
Definitely.
We setting the stage, we getting it right. But if you're an artist, again, they can reach you.
Crown Me King, CRWNMEKING _. That's on IG. I don't use Twitter. I'm always on the ground because I manage so many different accounts on the ground, so I'm always on there. Definitely in the impact, INDI impact, basically. It's website.com. That's pretty much it. Facebook, you know, the same thing. Kasim Peterson, you find me there. Crown Music is there. Crown Creative Agency is definitely there. That's exactly how it sounds. So yeah.
Nice, man. Yo, I'm gonna get in the studio tonight, man. I'm gonna record a record. I'm trying to get on this Crown record label situation. I'm recording tonight.
Go ahead.
I'm recording tonight.
Yeah, I got a team of A&Rs. Let's get
No, I'm not doing the A&Rs. I'm coming. I need to sit with the boss. I need to sit with the boss.
You can also talk to the other boss.
You gonna send me to the third?
Nah.
To the water boy? You gonna send me to the water boy?
Nah, my guy is right beside me, Rain 910.
Okay.
Yeah, he was real heavy in the streets with Smack.
Nice.
So he's fire, phenomenal artist, phenomenal producer. He was just on Jim Jones' last project. So he's co-CEO of Crown Music as well.
Nice. Well, you heard it here, right here, direct deposit. We got the boss in the building, Kasim. Listen, man, super salute on all of the work you're doing.
Appreciate you.
The level up is amazing. There's nothing I like to see more than brothers like leveling up, because you know my life mantra I say all the time: you got to be changeable to be remainable. You know what I'm saying? Like that's life, and I don't care what you do out here. You know what I'm saying? And the level up is like inspirational. You know what I'm saying? So direct deposit, continued success. I'm looking forward to see what happens with the label and Port of Miami.
Port of Miami too.
Port of Miami too. You know what I'm saying? Hottest in the street right now. You heard the people said it. The people said it.
People said it twice over.
And that's it, man. We out. Yo, we be right back on direct deposit with scene 2. You heard?